Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to talk about the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi. Oh my, yeah. This is a great figure, but I do have some gripes with them. Some of them are major, some of them are minor, but all in all, I think it is a solid figure and a solid entry to the Revo stuff. While Deku was a masterpiece in my eyes, I think there is some stuff that needs to be desired on All Might, but they still are heading into the right direction. So I hope they can continue doing this. I think the biggest issue that stems from All Might is he suffers from the muscular body syndrome that Revoltech tends to not do very well. Meanwhile, subtle stuff like Deku comes out amazing. But instead of talking about it, I'm going to show you because I'm terrible at explaining those kind of things with my words. Anyway, the look-wise, I think he's really, really solid. Even with the whole gap issue here up top, and like I said, I feel like all the muscular body stuff and superheroic stuff definitely does suffer from that. But it still looks good overall. It really does. It works out in a lot of ways, and it still can have excellent articulation, but it's going to suffer from the visual look. So for those of you looking for a visually, aesthetically pleasing, non-posing All Might, this is not going to be for you. You don't have to continue after these first couple minutes because it ain't going to be for you. But for those people like me who can overlook that stuff, this is definitely going to be for you. So we've gotten to look at it up front. Let's see it up close. Let's get a little closer. See inches ever so closely. I know some people don't also like the gloss. I actually don't mind that. I think it'll turn up really good in photos in low light that I've experimenting with. But also, it may not be for you. So you can always hit it with a matte coat and change that around. But yeah, articulation-wise, though, this is where it's going to get kind of crazy. Because our neck area is pretty wild. So let me actually just rotate up a little bit because I want to get a little close with that. And we can see that we actually, look, so we're already getting that crazy motion of forward. And our head can rotate forward. Can rotate up, we can look left, we can look right, we can get expressionist with it. So range is not going to be an issue for All Might, as you can see here, right? He can ab crunch forward, which is not a problem, but I'm going to pop him apart and we're going to do that cool thing. So while we can pop All Might apart because there's a very nice ball joint there, because it curves forward, because it's hollowed out, this does not move, which is crazy. I expected this to be able to move, but considering the issues that we had with Venom, they've changed this to a static ball joint now, which means while he can still crunch forward, tilt to the side, it kind of takes away my ability to do crazier stuff. Like going backwards is not an option now. So we remove our backwards crunch. There will be no backwards crunch at all on this All Might because of that. But we still can crunch very far forward. Our arms are on the, what I call the double method. We actually have two ranges of movement, which is here. You'll actually get a little bit of movement here in the arms. That is before you actually move the actual arm, so that you get your plexus and stuff like, well, that's not that muscle. Why can't I remember the name for anything when I'm ever on camera? But these muscles here can rotate just a little bit forward. And I feel like because it's kind of stuck on mine, which kind of sucks, we could have turned that into a singular piece without it messing up. But it does give you an extra little bit of room. Our arms can go all the way up, and we see we suffer from the shaving method, which is indented in to allow the arm to sit flat. I personally don't mind that, but after getting Deku, I feel like we could have mastered that and still left that flesh alone for him to be able to do more. You can actually rotate this arm through and around. That's that invisible rotating revolver joint. And then we have a joint here that allows us to revolve. What they did add extra, though, is a gauntlet wrist swivel that rotates around with no problem. Oop, knocked the hand off because I'm being too extra. And we already know we have the hand joint that moves. So we actually have a lot of good stuff going for the upper torso that makes it look good. So that means if you feel like flexing, it won't be an issue. But he does feel like a little bit of a wobbly mess, and that's a little concerning. So I'm a little worried about that. But hopefully, I think that's just me being already extra by using too many of the joints. So as you can see here, All Might could look good posed up. Even it's held really well with the shadow, as you can see here. You don't have too much of a problem. But again, this may not be for everyone. As far as the legs go, let's see where we can get. So when you rotate this leg up, and this is the other issue that I have, you may pop out the upper torso, because just like with that midsection, you now have this section, which does not move as well too. It's very tight and very close joint. So when rotating the leg all the way up, you may push it back a little too far. So keep that in mind, because as you can see, as I'm rotating this soft plastic moves around. I want to make sure you guys know about this, because I don't want you to face any issues. I don't want you hitting that adversity I want you to be prepared when you're going in to play with your All Might. But the joints are solid though, because boy, it took me a little struggle to pop that in, and it's on there. So we can get our leg up, but like I said, we're gonna suffer in that way of losing out on a certain joint in particular. So you see we got our leg up. We do have a thigh swivel. It's really solid and strong as well too. And we can cross our legs. There is a boot swivel as well, and a crazy leg joint here. A crazy toe joint. And we can wiggle with our boot as well too. Now with the toe joint, I think that's my biggest gripe outside of the waist issue. It's very loose. Mine pops out almost too easy, but also aesthetically, it sits out a little too far. Now, that's to allow your all range of movement to move forward and backwards, which isn't too crazy, but I am worried about it being a wobbly mess. So please be careful. And if you don't like your joints being wobbly, hit it with some clear nail polish to add some friction and let it dry before applying it to the joints again. So that should help. But all in all, this is still a really solid All Might, and it still looks really, really good. But it may be one of those things where I think it's a little over-engineered in some places, all while being dope in many other. For me, it's not a solid issue, but I'm looking at it for the way for other people. And it may be a little too much for them. But as a person who likes to pose, I'm not against it. I like what they chose here. It definitely does suit the All Might. We also have openings in our arm for All Might, and we're going to talk about the accessories. So we get to that. It's also going to be here at the bottom of the foot as well. So let's get into that by talking about the accessories right now. All right, so I'm going to switch my camera up and get to it. So, guys, we have a lot to cover, so let's get over these accessories. I think first I should go over the stuff that I left actually inside of the tray, because that's actually pretty funny. So, the reason why I'm covering this is because we're going to talk about the clamps and stuff, and those are going to be for your 2 smash word effect parts. And the reason why I'm counting these is because these are actually pretty nice. And I use them on Deku, so why not use it on him? You'll also get a stand piece as you did with Deku, but I want to make sure I show these guys and not forget, because I normally don't show the stands, but these are imperative for holding these up, right? So let's get rid of that, put that away. Now we're going to talk about all the other cool stuff. Now, first I want to do the head sculpts that we get with our main man All Might. So here is our concerned grit face. Then we have our angry face. And be careful because these are not soft plastic, so these are easy to break. You'll also see that there's opening for the eyes, and we'll get to that in a second. Here is our cheesy smiley face with the nervous drop here. Let's try to get a little close up on that. There we go. That nervous, sweaty drop. Then we're going to talk about our 2 eyepieces. These are very, very small. And I think mine has a bad paint job on one of them because it's actually missing an eye on one, if you can see over there. But this one has it on this one. Or maybe it's just meant to be one of those, based on his style and his art and the shading of him, you're only supposed to see it on one eye. So one eye set is for looking left, one eye set is for looking right, and that's what you have. You'll also get this piece to be able to plug it in and out to help you out with that. You'll also get extra plugs. And the reason why you get these extra plugs is for the effect part, which is pretty cool. I already have one technically attached. So you'll get one piece with it just like this. These are extra plug pieces in case you lose them, because you can also just plug these in directly to these, the effect part. Now, you can plug it in this way. Oop. Well, no, you can't. I thought, oh, I'm tripping. My bad, y'all, on camera. I'm bugging. So you actually plug it in with the clear part, and you plug this into All Might, obviously. So you can connect it with one effect part, or you can use all 3 that you get to combine into a larger circular effect part, or 2 if you really wanted to. So here's 2 pieces. And then we're going to add the 3rd piece now. So let's attach that piece back on and then put it on All Might so we can see how it looks. Hopefully I don't break anything using ridiculous amounts of strength and effort to put it in, because I hate when I do that. I've learned to just take the arm off. It makes it so much easier for me. And then I put it in wrong. There we go. So you're basically going to be able to hide this effect through the arm by posting the arm at the particular angle. So if we pop this in, you know, we can Texas smash. You see, it looks pretty good and pretty solid. And if you want, you can even apply this to Deku if you want. But you can Texas smash or North Carolina smash or Detroit smash, whichever city or state you choose, or United States of smash. Has fun with that. So we can definitely do that. Let's pop this piece back off. I feel like I need another All Might now, because I definitely want this effect part twice. Let's get you standing straight back up, and let's talk about the hand accessories. First, you'll get the thumbs up. You'll only get the left hand thumbs up here. So you only get one hand for the left thumbs up. You'll get peace sign hands. Love and peace, right? You'll get karate chopping hands or salute hands, depending on how you want to go about it. You'll get open action hands, which is one of my favorites. You want to claw, crush, or grip anything, you'll use these hands. And then you'll get open palm action hands for action and movement. Oop, dropped the hand, but I caught it. And then you'll get pointing hands. Pointing, 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 muttering. I'm having more fun than usual, so don't judge me here. But yeah, that about covers the accessories. I do want to jump into size comparison for you guys. I got nothing crazy special, but I figured we'd have a good time and compare some stuff. So my phone went a little sideways. So let's get to that. All right, now we're going to get to the size comparisons. And I think first we're going to talk about the My Hero stuff, both Figma and Revoltech. And then we're going to other lines that All Might can fight or look cool next to or do some crossover stuff. First, we're going to do Izuku Midoriya, which is my main man Deku, the Revoltech version. I don't see a point in adding the Figma one because we can use Bakugou for that. And now we have Figma Bakugou here. And as you can see, our young companions are, actually, let's move Bakugou a little over because those, he has a lot going on visually. And as you can see, I actually raised up taller because we're about to go into some large scales and I wanted to make sure you can see it. But as you can see, these guys right next to him look really good. Like he's supposed to be bigger than them, especially because, you know, I don't want to spoil anything. But at this point, you know what we're getting in the show. And I just want to make sure everybody knows that. But they do look really, really good together. So in that case, let's move you over to the side, move you over to the side. And then we're going to talk about some other scales. Let's do a Lightning Collection Dino Thunder Red Ranger. Right? And right on cue, there's always a police siren because something probably happened. This is New York City. Deal with me. Next up, we have a G.I. Joe Storm Shadow. As you can see, All Might is a very large man, and he looks big even next to domestic stuff, which I think is a great thing. That means next to import stuff, he'll probably be gigantic to some people. For instance, here's an SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Kuga. And as you can see, he looks like a kid next to All Might. Then we have an Articulated Icons Ninja. And ninjas are pretty much no match for All Might. Not in any case in this matter, even supernatural or not. Then we have a 1000 Toys Synthetic Carb. Oop. You did a little too much there, buddy. Let's move you back up. Let's get your feet flat. That's what it is. There we go. 2 feet on the ground. Working pretty well. Next up, we will do a Mythic Legions 1.0. And this guy probably is the only guy that's going to come close outside of Storm Collectibles in terms of height next to him and other monster-like characters. But as you can see, All Might definitely towers over most of these guys. Looking down is going to be the only option for him. Next up, we're going to do some Storm Collectibles and some larger characters and some Mezco. So here's Mezco me. And I am tiny next to All Might. Here is a Here is a Kazuya Mishima from Storm Collectibles. Like I said, the only one to really be able to compare with in height. And it looks really good. But they shouldn't be, well, actually, it can be around the same height because Kazuya Mishima is a whole beast. Then we're going to compare some bigger stuff. So here it is with the Mcfarland Devastator. Shout out to Animated Heroes for getting this over to me. He's the only one I really, really wanted. And I think that Devastator is a little too small, but it does look good next to an All Might. Here's an SH Figuarts Hulk with a custom head sculpt by Demonic Poo Creations. And then just in case you stick with your domestic stuff, here is a domestic Hulk, the Outback Hulk from Marvel Legends. And you can see All Might is probably one of the smaller guys here for once, right? Devastator, what did you do? What did you do? So let's move him back up. Let's make sure he's back in a really good stance. Let's move these guys out. Last but not least, I'm going to compare one larger guy, which is the Swarm Warden from Storm Collectibles. Just so you can see what it's like to make him look small. And sorry for the weapons that I have on Swarm Warden. I didn't want to change them out because they looked really cool. But let's say you were doing like the Storm Doomsday and stuff like that. I don't have to break them out because you already know what you're getting with Swarm Warden. And this would look really cool in some photos. So yeah, now you know what you're getting. Overall, I've had a blast. I hope you guys will enjoy the photos of All Might. Try to have some fun with it and try some new stuff. Been testing out some new lighting, so I hope you guys really enjoy that. In the meantime, guys, I hope you found this informative. I hope you enjoyed. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.